There is something hiding in the woods of San Marcos, a rotting and forgotten monolith of Texas history. There are reminders of it scattered all over the city, the most blatant of which are the mermaid statues erected in and around downtown, like this one, which is normally holding a swimming pig, or this one that someone decided to leave an offering on, or this one that is covered head to toe in exactly what we're looking for. This is the Meadow Center for water and the environment. But it used to be a hotel in the center of the Aquarena Springs theme park. Meet Sam Massey. He works at the Meadow Center. I sat him down to learn more about the park.
Texas State bought the Aquarena Springs theme park in 1994, at that time it had been an operating theme park since about 1951, I think. After the university purchased it, after a couple of years with a lot of the same staff working there, they changed the name to Aquarena Center and basically made it into more of an educational nature center.
The only signs of Aquarena Springs in the Meadow Center are two cases loosely filled with memorabilia from the park. One object of interest is this still showing people riding a glass-bottom boat. The glass-bottom boats are still a functioning part of the Meadow Center, so I hopped on one to get a better perspective of what used to be. From the boat you can spot defunct structures such as this dock or this green deck. But before we get into the park, I want you to meet a friend of mine.
I'm Samuel Lang. I'm 22. I'm Robert's roommate, friend, confidant, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my experience finding Aquarena Springs. I mean, what was left of it. We kind of stumbled on this place by accident. We were at the Meadow Center. We were looking at all the fish and the whatnots, and we had traveled to the third floor of the building, and outside was this sprawling plaza, and there was a gate. So we crossed through the gate because it seemed interesting, and we just started walking more and got deeper into the park. At this time, we didn't even know what Aquarena Springs was. We thought that we had completely split from reality, or maybe found like Chernobyl. We didn't really know what to make of it, to be honest with you. It was just bizarre.
But wait, there's one more person you need to meet.
Hi, I'm Furley, and I'm an artist here in San Marcos, Texas. I paint birds mainly and other things. And I'm 49 years old, lived here since 76. I moved to town, or 79.
Furley is here to give us a perspective of somebody who actually visited the park. And now that we have our holy trinity of perspectives on the park, let's explore. Starting with the Edward Burleson house.
We ended up finding an abandoned home made of brick, something that you would see in like in a Western movie.
They also had like a bunch of replica structures that made it look sort of like a town you'd see in a Western, basically. That was a different pioneer cabin, as they called it, that they had trucked in piece by piece. They basically disassembled it from its original site and reassembled it up on the hillside there.
And we continued the course. We ended up finding what looked like some kind of animal entrapment. I believe it was an alligator exhibit of some sort.
In 1 year it flooded and the gators got out. Mm-hmm. I think they caught them all, I guess.
And we continued in, and we ended up finding a relatively large building made of brick, and it looked like a mission. And I think that was when I realized we had stumbled onto something big.
So the mission was, it's a mid-20th century structure It's basically like they called it a replica. That was based on essentially like Spanish colonial records about there being a mission in this area. There's, as far as I know, never been any archaeological investigations which have established that there was any evidence, physical evidence of a mission being on site here.
None of these things really seem like they fit together, and the whole experience seemed really surreal, like something out of a dream.
There was a sky ride, and that thing was like kind of terrifying because it was like really rickety, but the view was great. And you could go up in that tower, and it spun, so you could see 360 of the town. It was much smaller then. I think it was just old Maine back then.